Hi guys, welcome back to yet another conversation. We said this season we are calling it Still Figuring Out. We are trying to just flow with the conversation as we proceed, and feel free to share your thoughts, because what we are sharing is what we have and our perceptions, our experiences, but that doesn't mean it's what it should be, right guys? Yeah, so on today's topic, this one is normal. It's about my traumas. You know, there was a time I was having a conversation with Elizabeth. Do you think like tunajipatanga tukiwa attached to some of the friendships ama relationships because of some of the things we have not dealt with? And akanisho, do you think kila kitu ni trauma? And alikuwa like, I don't think we have traumas, but I came to realize traumas are not necessarily something bad that happened. Ni venye like someone said, you don't choose where you come from. You just found yourself, and there's that world where you grew up all your life to a certain time or period of your age, and now uko hapa nje, you're on your own, and now you start trying to figure things as you
adulting.
Thank you, adulting. And then kuna now you keep like you find yourself unajimix na other people because you're also trying to figure your world now alone on your own, but still unapata kuna some connections huwezi make kwa sababu where you come from kuna beliefs uko nazo. Kama I know the common one we all told at a certain age kila kitu utakuwa figure out, and then una realize it doesn't have to get to at 25, at 30 for you to have everything figured out, because there are people you look at and you find them they're also struggling or dealing with issues na si kwa kupenda kwao. If you look at them without judging them, you realize there's something that maybe they haven't dealt with that is affecting how they look at life. Maybe let me start for example, what are the negative traumas that you think have affected some of your relationships now that when you look back you're like enyewe this one comes from somewhere?
Unaona kaa venye ulikuwa unakula umechagua tunyama twako ndo ukule kanyama ka mwisho, then venye ukamebaki ni yako ka mwisho mtu tu anatoka na huko anakuja na kachukua nikili menitraumatize mpaka bali. But anyway aside from that ni ati I think there are some negative places zenye relationships zenye tumekuwa tukiform tukigrow, some friendships. For example, if I say if ni negative ni unapata you had friends when you trusted so much, you did so many things together, maybe when you were kids and everything, then inafika mahali and maybe they betray you. So now being or maybe someone was close, maybe a family member who betrayed you when you were still a kid. So you grow up now not having to trust people. You know, if the person I trusted the most bado aliniseti, why should I now give another chance for someone akuje bado na pia yeye ataniseti? So I think negatively that has affected those betrayals,
like trust issues. Let's call them trust issues. You find yourself you have trust issues because of I call it ni kama a sequence of repetition of things imekuwa happen over and over again, ikaform ni kama your own defensive mechanism. Now I need here to be prepared. I'm not ready to deal with another one. So instead of having all these repetitions, you find yourself you will not trust easily.
Uko na maukuta zingine zinakaa boda mtu aziruka, because now those patterns they make you get you adapt. So because ukizoea kitu sana ni ati you have now to grow that skin to protect yourself. So you have those patterns zimekuwa zikijirudia to the extent where by now you have so many big walls, KPLC uko juu nini, hakuna mse anaweza penya unless ualao na nilo unamulaba.
I also feel like, I don't know, Jerry, what do you think?
Well, first of all, let me know this. Is it taught to say that I've never experienced real betrayal?
Aish. Okay, we are different. For him, amesema trust issues, which minimum backup. Honestly, for me, I'm the kind of let me say this. I think there's a difference between an introvert and a loner. there are times I identify myself very comfortably as a loner. Reason being, I think the same way umesema betrayal. I grew up in a setup where, in a school setup, there were groups and they would divide themselves according to the backgrounds. And I can't say that I really came up from a bad background. I think I had the best, but I never saw the need to really say this one comes from this background, so I cannot relate with them. And I saw how they would like betray each other. You find they are friends, then after some time they are not talking to this person, they have isolated them. And to some point, because of the pressure of wanting to fit in, I tried those things and I always felt, I'm out of place. Yeah. So I really found myself in that, and I think I became so comfortable sometimes being alone. I don't necessarily have to really mix with people. When I'm younger about trust issues, for me, I think there are times I would say, apart from being an introvert, there are times I'll be comfortable being alone. Because I would be like, I don't want to bring you too much to my inner circle, and then you stab me. Yeah. So, not necessarily the way his experience is. Maybe yours is different. I don't know. Maybe you can tell us.
I had not thought about it in that angle. Speaking of, trust issues in such a broad way, for me, I used to think betrayal. No, for you to have trust issues, you have to be betrayed.
Yeah, which is not necessary all the time. Yeah,
apparently. So, I'm guessing trusting somebody with your spaces.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I do not trust serious people with my space.
Because of where you come from, it was so serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, my parents they're both parents, and they are very tough. They're the best definition of toughness. And to add on to that, I joined boarding school in class 4.
Oh. Damn. I joined in class 4, so I get you. Let me tell you, there was a time like I would find myself like na feel, is it that my parents are too busy for me? Watu wengine wakipeana their stories of where they come from, and then for me my reputation was mostly house helps, nini. So, and then I think it kind of interfered with how I became, I would say, alone. Not because that's a problem, I was saying, because definitely I don't think they took us there because they didn't want us. It's because they were so busy and it was easier for them to contain us in a place where they knew we are safe. Because my mom would really travel a lot, like literally angekuja hii wiki, next week aenda hiyo, like that. So for her it was easy, at least let them go to a boarding school, then on a visiting day she's there, she makes sure she's there, we have a good moment. But I get you because hata mimi yeah. So for you, how has that affected you?
I think for me, the way it has really affected me is I cannot really work with people who have this formal demeanor, this really serious demeanor. I prefer somebody who's joking in there. Here's the irony. People tell me I look serious.
But unataka watu wako na serious.
It's very serious.
But deep down, what I really want is
that humor.
Yeah.
That humor.
Okay, I was trying to resonate in a life, and nika realize most of the things that we do. Let me talk about friendships and relationships. You find zingine zinaenda the way south because we don't prioritize healing and dealing with some of the inner things that keep repeating themselves in a pattern of repetition, because we feel like there's a certain fulfillment I want, but I feel I'll find it when I come to your life, you love me, so Nina drop that whole baggage to you, and yet you also have your own life going on. So you find like sometimes, okay, we don't have the answers yet, but I feel like sometimes some of these things that are affected, it's because of that. We don't prioritize healing. What would you say about that?
Mi na agree kwa sababu unapata everyone ama wase wengi wanasema mi nataka mtu ananichukua venye niko. Na saa hiyo maybe for you wewe umekuwa ukiwork on yourself, so how do you expect me to take you as you are, yet me mwenyewe I'm not, I have worked on my maybe hizo things. I'm not perfect but at least nimeweza kuzimanage, unaona. So unapata ni ukweli kuna mtu mwenye anakuja na everything, they don't take the time to maybe reason with themselves ama kujiconfront for getting into a relationship, of which I think bado it's a part of that trauma ya there's someone mwenye haizi kaa solo, immediately imeisha ameruka kwa ingine, so I think waseka hao sana sana I think ndo wao ndo ubeba nini anakuja nayo, because they don't take the time to understand themselves ama to understand why they have that pattern in their life.
What do you think, Jerry?
Well, it's good you've specified there are certain things you can work on, there are others you have to leave. Always one thing I know is for you to cure something, you have to accept you have it first. And in such a case you have to think of this thing, is it affecting only you or the other person? If it affects the other person, then you have to figure a way out of dealing with it.
I also feel like we tend to sugarcoat conversations when we come. Let me use sana. I'm not sure about friendships, because for me friendships, I cut off people easily. We get to a point and I feel I'm outgrowing. Maybe there's something that brought us together, and then I feel like maybe I have really dealt with my healing, and I feel like I'm at a certain level in life, and we no longer resonate. So when I come to talk about the most example one, relationships, we just want for you to love me, for you to like me. It's like their scores I'm looking for to win that seat of being your girlfriend or you being the boyfriend. And you find most of the times we do not have the uncomfortable conversations. So there are things that are left out. Then the deeper you go, some things zinaanza kujitokeza. Do you think like we do not have those conversations? And what would you say?
Because unapata the reason why we tend to sugarcoat ni staki, for example, maybe people who have I think it's also a part of trauma whereby you find there are people who are people pleasers. So staki ni kuambia ukweli ikuume alafu uishie, unaona. So I think but at the same time there are people who are blunt, as in kuna mtu atakwambia ukweli wewe venye wewe ukitaka kulia lia na huko, unaona, lakini atakwambia ukweli venye iko. So I think the reason is maybe if I tell you the truth this time, then ukose kuichukua vizuri, maybe ukani kama nimekwambia kitu mbaya, yet maybe I'm telling you something good. I won't tell you the same thing. I won't tell you vizuri next time, because ninaona last time nilikuambia ukweli nikaa ukanichorea. So it's ni kama umecreate barrier, siwezi kuambia ukweli juu nikikwambia ukweli nikaa unaenda, but haifai hivyo, because I think we sugarcoat it, na the truth is what that person needs. Itamuumiza kidogo, yes, but atakuwa zile za hii kitu ina make sense, then maybe they can work on it. But if you don't have those uncomfortable conversations sahi, ni ati you regret later. Unaona, because you will do something that's maybe even not in line with the relationship, maybe something else, but itakuja ku affect because you didn't have the uncomfortable conversation sahi.
What do you think?
There's actually nothing negative that you live with that won't affect people around you. So the thing is, you really have to accept it first, think about it, talk to somebody, of course, and maybe while talking you'll find that the two of you relate in certain ways. Oh, you don't talk about that too. I don't.
Nice.
Then maybe you start opening up to each other. Then you realize, actually, maybe I would have done this. Maybe the way he does this thing, maybe I can do this.
Yeah. So I think it's best said, as long as wherever kind of relationships you are building, could be friendships and even friendships. Yeah, the fear of, I don't want to be seen different. Yeah. I don't want them to think I'm the serious one. I'm the lecturer. I'm the people pleasing. Okay, there are those insecurities, but I feel it all comes from digging in their authentic self. Because if you're really honest of who you are and what you stand for, people will love you for that. And you tend to also cultivate those by guiding them through your truth. Because the fear of wanting kujitenga, the fear of feeling I don't want to be the one being named a certain name, the moment you just being honest, I think these conversations just flow. Yeah. But if you become a people pleaser, you may not please everybody, because you'll tend to keep up. Today you'll do this, tomorrow, and then you get somewhere and you feel
it's a mask. Ni kama a mask, which hufai kuitoa. So I think, better be authentic and real. Then whoever aligns with how you are, ama vitu hizo, they still be around, but whoever fitting, it's a choice. Sio lazima kuwe hapo.
How can we prioritize our self-care and healing at the same time you've been out there trying to make connections with people?
I think for that now ni venye nilisema, first get aware. Unakuwa self aware of this pattern, and now you want to change. Now if uko aware na unataka kuchange, the next thing is creating things, ama creating a lifestyle that will guard nika create a bubble that is covering you and that will guide you towards becoming that healthy person, ama for you now to be completely how you want yourself to be, no? So I think it's about balance and being aware. Ni ati sai nikirelate na wewe, I'm aware that there are things I want to change, so by the time I'm connecting with people, I'm highly aware that kuna kitu fulani sizitaka iingie kwa sako yangu, because it will bring me back to huko before, and I'm working on healing. So ni ati when you're creating these connections, uko aware sana. So your conversations, how you relate with people, it's guarded by something.
Yeah. I also, maybe to add on that, I'm the kind of a person sometimes I'll self-isolate. I don't know whether you do that. There are times I feel like I have consumed so much energies all around. There are times I'll just self-isolate, not because I don't want to talk to you, not because I don't want to have those conversations that we always have. There are times I just find myself, I just need to have that room to thank you, to recharge. I be like, okay, how did I reactaje hapo? Okay, what do I need to change? And automatically I think my I don't know whether it's how my lifestyle image is set. There are times I'll just self-isolate from socials. You find maybe like I decide this weekend I don't want to be anywhere around any social gathering. I just want to be on my own. And with that I'm able to recharge and to understand how, if I'm to come again to you, I'll be able to relate in a fresh way and in a way that guard my authentic self. Well, how do you think how you can navigate that? That's me, self-isolate for me. So how do you think you can have that self-care at the same time you are putting yourself out there for those connections all around you?
Personally, what I do is when I'm dealing with something, if it's social, I'll just be out there socializing, but at the back of my mind, I'm aware what I'm supposed to deal with, so I'll be conscious. And when I make a mistake, while trying to change something, I know, okay, we cannot work this, or maybe let's try this other method. And on top of that, I think one thing people overlook is religion.
Yeah.
It's religion, or having a spiritual, let me call it a place where having a higher spiritual a higher spiritual divinity. That makes sense. Sometimes when you're out there spiritually, one thing I like to say is the spiritual is greater than the physical. So first of all, you have to deal with it spiritually, then it will manifest physically.
Yeah.
So in whichever way, okay, in whatever I do, one thing is I handle it spiritually. There are many religions and spiritual entities. Should I say entities? Out there.
Everybody has what they believe in.
Yeah. But one thing is, all of them have an impact. They all have a negative impact and a positive one. The thing is, the long run, whatever they do, but in whatever way, if you handle it spiritually, physically, it will manifest in
I think I can agree, because I feel personally, with my own experience, I have found myself like I'm at a point where like I pray over everything, like literally everything. I don't know whether it's a certain stage, but I thank God that is where you find like there's a little thing that I'll face, and I'm like, man, I don't think I can do it on my own. I just need to have a way to know whether what I'm doing is really connected to where I'm headed and the things that I should be doing. And spiritual is a very good thing that I had not come across in my mind. But
and by the way, one thing is having a higher divinity or somebody way higher than you. In this case, if it's God. People worship different things. But sometimes when you're aware that there's this higher being, higher personality that controls my life, sometimes you let yourself loose, and you're like, you talk to that higher divinity and tell them what you're facing, and once you tell them to help you feel a certain weight has dropped.
In this case for me it's God. I don't have any other, and I'm not ashamed to say that. And I'm a Christian, and I would say that's the best choice I ever made in my life, and something I would ask anyone to try. So as we conclude, I will tell people to normalize healing. Normalize sometimes asking yourself some questions like, why do I keep attracting the same kind of patterns in my life, whether it's friendships, whether it's relationship, any connection that you make, and you ask yourself why, if there's anything you need to do better, or even use your friends. For me, I say, if you don't have friends who can point some negative things about yourself openly, I think you're in the wrong place. Because I don't like the yes. Personally, I don't like the yes all the time. They are like, you're perfect, you're good. Yes. I don't like such people. I love even people who challenge me.
As in that yes. Kwani ukoseangi?
Exactly.
You have to have those people who can encourage you. You have to have those people who can tell you the truth. And they'll deliver it in a way that is out of love. Si ati anakuambia hivyo akufilisha vibaya, anakujali, unaona? Then maybe just to add on that spiritual aspect, I think it's good to have that spiritual backup, because venye ameisema ni ati it feels good to know that you're not alone, ama you're not going through something peke yako. And for sure me pia I have experienced it, ile place yenye you pray about something and maybe haitakuwa sorted immediately, ama whatever trauma you're going through, you tell God, I'm trying my best maybe to become a better person for myself, but I can't do it alone. And you feel just peaceful.
As in, it's like something has been lifted.
As in all the way you be guided. Wewe utajua ni aje, but there's, so long as I always say, if it's big enough to worry you, then it's big enough to pray about, because kaina kusumbua ni ati there is something. So just submitting it to God and telling him to guide you, that's a big step towards healing.
So I would love to know what your views are. Please comment below, let us know, and thank you for being here to the end. Until next time, bye. bye.